Alright, what it is, Danny X. We back here with Cap Chatfield. He is a true believer, a Christian, and it's not the first time I've reviewed him. So he's picking on some atheists. Alright. Well, but the thing is, they like to pick on atheists that don't know how to stand up for themselves. I've recently stumbled upon a channel called Genetically Modified Skeptic, which dude was raised up in Christianity and turned to full-blown atheism. More agnostic, but on the atheist side of agnostic. So anyway, he has very strong arguments and whatnot. And I mean, I'm there with you on the God part, buddy. It's just that the details about that God part is what I got issues with, and we'll get into that. Let's go.
What you're about to watch is actually one of the most rare things that you'll see when it comes to debating between Christians and atheists. In this clip, you're going to see Frank Turek, who's, one of the most well-known apologists of our day.
And coincidentally, this guy right here, this Frank guy, his biggest fan is Drew from over there at the Skeptic channel. Yeah, Drew likes covering this guy. Kind of like I like to cover chat.
At least in the Western world, talking with a young man named Nathaniel, who's trying to make the claim that it is intellectually impossible to agree with the idea that there is a God, especially...
I mean, okay, I come from Florida, and a lot of my friends down there were self-proclaimed atheists. I had a few self-proclaimed Satanist friends, but most of the atheists that I talked to down there believed in a higher power. The words out of their mouth. I believe in a higher power, just not the way that Christians say. Okay, so, and the thing with that is Christians attack people, and I'm just me, but that's definitely right off the bat when I was a kid, going up into a Pentecostal church, they all started doing their hibbity-dibbity-dibby shit, and I started laughing at them. They're like, "You got the devil in you." I'm like, no, I was just enjoying their weird shit, what's up? So anyway, yeah, a lot of the atheists will claim atheism, even though they do believe in something. They don't like to use the word God. They like to use the word higher power, but they just don't like the impositions proposed to them by followers of Abraham, and I don't blame them.
When it comes to morality. But in this clip, you're going to see Frank Turek gracefully, humbly, but how would I say this? Unashamedly dismantle this young man's argument. And the way that this young man responds at the end, this gives me hope for humanity. So I want to play this clip for you. I'll give a little bit of commentary, and then I'll share some thoughts at the end. But you have to stick around to the end of this clip, because the way...
Okay, so real quick, I believe in, I like to call it the collective cosmic consciousness. You can call it God. God's just a three-letter word. Just as all words, they are symbols, and those symbols only have meaning when empowered by a sentient singularity, which is what we are. We call us people, but I call us sentient singularities, because we are all singularities infinitely compounded unto ourselves of consciousness, okay? Which is once again, another representation. We are fractals of the Creator. We are co-creators within the Godhood, I like to call it. Okay, let's go.
That this young man, really, the light turns on for him in such a beautiful way.
Oh.
Really rare to see. So, enjoy.
So you make three specific arguments for...
And right there, right off the bat, the light turns on for him. Okay, your conception of light does not limit the actual expression of light. Okay, so when he's saying the light turns on for him, so to Cap Chatfield, the only light that matters is the light that his theology approves of. Okay,
the existence of God, a creative argument, an argument for design, and an argument for morality. I first off would like to try and take down the argument on morality. Right, because it's not actually an argument for the existence of a God, it's the argument for the fact that we should.
Thank you. Oh, someone finally said that. Thank you. But yeah, this whole morality thing, it's like before even the before the Christian God even came around, people had morals, okay? And even if it's morals that you don't personally agree with, they have their own moral. Everyone is the basis for their own morality, okay? We are all sovereign. divine, sovereign, sentient singularities, and the attempt of systems and power is to persuade the masses, the people, to relinquish their sovereignty and empower those systems by taking the power away from the individual. Okay.
Have an idea of an existence of a God, because otherwise there would be no moral basis from which we could sit on. And I disagree with that because I feel that humans are inherently altruistic and moral.
Okay, all right, stop there for just a second, Nathaniel. What do you mean by altruistic and moral?
We are giving and we care about each other.
Why is that good?
Why is that good? Because it helps our species survive.
Okay, they like to do this. Just the argument of someone believing in something good or bad, okay, automatically that proves their perception of God, just because someone has. And now I'm right there with you. Like, I believe in God, so it's funny. I like to do these atheist things because I'm I'm on team one true creator, you motherfuckers. Just because I don't fucking bend the knee and capitulate to your weak theologies about that one true creator. You like to call me demon. You like to call me devil. It's so funny. I don't believe in demon or devil. All followers of Abraham is a cult of sin worshipers. That's how I see it. That's exactly how I see it. It's a cult of worshipers. No one loves demons and sins more than followers of Abraham. Think about that. Okay? I don't believe in, because let's go back to what they call the original sin of a creation. Well, hold on. Let's fucking unwrap this whole thing. The creator of all created everything, yet there is something in creation that can possibly attack the creator. That's fucking retarded, okay? That is retarded. Yet there is a creation that somehow defies the creator? No. Every single creation is exactly what the creator intended, okay? Let's go on with it.
Why is it good to survive?
Because then we can propagate and move on as a species and continue to exist.
I do not believe in the good and evil thing. Everyone has their own morality, okay, of good and bad. I don't like to, good and bad, sure, I'll go with that, not evil. I don't believe in evil. I don't believe in evil. I don't believe in Satan. I don't believe in hell. I don't believe in none of that shit, okay?
Why is that a good thing? Who said?
Why is that a good thing? Yeah. Because that is what it is.
Well, that's it is. That's not an.
And Christians like to try to own the concept of one true creator. Oh, you can only believe in. Oh, well, that's not the true God then. If you have any divergence from what we think, that's not the true one true creator. Oh, okay. So are there multiple one true creators or what? What's going on here? Even amongst the followers themselves, that they all, like Christians will say, no, the Muslims don't worship the one true God. Oh, maybe the Jews might, but not the Muslims. And then the Muslims are sitting back there. No, the Jews are worshiping Satan and. Or whatever, like they're constantly fighting among themselves, cannibalizing each other just to feel or look a little bit more holy, which is a than the Abrahamic culture. Let's roll with it.
Though Stalin would say, "Fine, Nathaniel, I'm going to survive."
Well, let's pause real quick. We'll keep on going in a moment, but I want to break down what he's saying. So he's saying. He doesn't believe, Nathaniel, that in order for us to actually be moral beings, that we need a God who actually writes the moral code, writes the moral law.
Yeah, and I don't believe that either as a necessity, even though I do believe in the one true creator. I don't believe that is a necessity in order for morality to exist.
He's saying that inherently there's something in us that is good, which we can talk about shortly after how.
Well, okay, when you're talking about good, bad, that's all subjective, okay? And then, the Christians will try to come in with, oh, there is objective morality, there is objective good, there is objective bad, just because they don't like to admit that it's all subjective, okay? Because if you follow that down that rabbit hole deep enough, it will lead you to we are all co-creators within the Godhood, okay? If everything is subjective and every single sentient singularity is a co-creator and we create the world as we perceive it, okay? And a sea of gods, okay? And we are a sea of God. Every single consciousness is an expression of the omniconsciousness, the ever consciousness, okay? Every single instant of expression fuels the life machine. Okay, the life machine, and The life machine is God. I'm talking about like literally, physically. And another thing Christians like to do is they like to separate the creation from the creator. Okay, they do. They like to they love their separation. They separate God into good and evil. God is all things. God created all things. God is all things. Yet they have this little cute little story where somehow God created all things, but He's not all things. Okay.
We have an idea of what good is. Says that none of us are good, actually, which I'll talk about in a little bit if we get to it. But here we have Frank who's saying, what's us good? Like, how do you come up with that?
Oh, well, the Bible says it. It's got to be true then, right? I mean, it's right there in black and white. But what about all the books they excluded from the Bible? Okay, what about all the teachings of Jesus that they specifically excluded in order to make Christianity look a certain way, as if it was all unified to begin with? It was not all unified to begin with. It was all very diverse to begin with, and they had to eliminate that diversity in order to control the narrative of their religion, okay, Christianity.
That idea that we are inherently good. Where does your framework, I should say, of good come from? So listen, I'm going to pull it back just a little bit. We'll let Frank continue to carry the conversation.
Fine, Nathaniel. I'm going to survive by killing you and taking your stuff. Why is he wrong?
Because Stalin.
See that right there, motherfuckers be like, oh, you just put up devil fingers, you gotta be demon. Motherfucker, this is rock on fingers. That's what I'm talking about. Symbols, okay? Every symbol it has no meaning unto itself until perceived by a sentient singularity, which gives that symbol life through its conscious awareness, okay? So every symbol means something different to all the various sentient singularities around the world. And a prime example is the Swazi. They took that from the Indian culture, which is a symbol for life and light, and they took it and did what they did with it, and so a symbol is not meaning itself. A symbol is a representation of meaning. Okay, a symbol can never have meaning unto itself. A symbol is only empowered by the conscious awareness of the observing singularity. Let's go.
Would have the initial urge not to. He would feel that the inherent urge of humans is to be caring for one another. There are situations where humans will not be are exceptional, but because humans are inherently altruistic, his first urge would be to take care of the person or try and help them. But if he has some motivation against that, no longer have that urge, and he would.
I don't agree with that assertion that humans are inherently altruistic. I think humans are trained to be whatever the society of the time wants them to be. In general, you have your outliers, but and when you say good, that's also a subjective term. I mean, in my view, I know all the Christians like to say there's objective good, but that is a subjective term. Okay, and what's good for one being or person can be detrimental to another, obviously. So it's entirely subjective.
That he wants to kill them because he has a reason to.
Well, again, I think you're begging the question as to what altruism is. Why is taking care of others a good thing if there is no God? That's your opinion. Is there an external referent, an authoritative, unchanging referent that you're getting that opinion from, which makes it objective, or is it just something you feel?
So if you take it from the stance that this is something that is consistent throughout humanity, that we...
I see what he's trying to do, right? See, that's what he's bringing that objectivity into it. He's trying to establish objective good, which leads down the rabbit hole to their particular perception of the one true creator. All right.
Care about one another, then we could superpose that as a moral impulse that we have.
Okay, let me agree with you. I think we do have a moral impulse. And that's exactly what C.S. Lewis said in The Abolition of Man, when he looked at all the diverse cultures and he said, they agree on basic morality. Now, how do you explain that basic morality? Well, there's a maybe.
Okay, and a lot of those cultures had totally different gods up until Christianity, for one. And you could argue and say, oh, well, they had a god, it just wasn't the Christian god, so that still goes in the same line of needing a, but okay, at that point, you're not needing a god for morality. You are using the conception, you think God is to help justify what you believe at that point, which is what all humans do. I mean, that's just human nature.
different ways to explain it, but some will say that's because God has written it on our hearts.
Bingo.
But the issue isn't how we know it. The issue is, why is altruism, as you put it, or caring?
Yes, I absolutely believe that. Okay, so God created everything and is intrinsically woven into all things he created. Absolutely, 100%. And you motherfuckers ain't gonna like this, you Christians, which is exactly why everyone has that direct connection to the one true creator, to God, and does not need Christianity. Easy there, slippery slope, right? Slippery slope. Yeah, people don't need religion. People don't need Christianity. It is already woven into us, like you just said, bruh.
For one another, a good thing. Who said?
One of the biggest sales ever. 30 beef sticks for just $30. Try for $1 each. 6 grams of...
A good thing. Who said?
It's not necessarily like who said, it is what is. We are altruistic. There is no need for someone to say that it is a good thing. It is what we are.
But if Hitler or Stalin comes along and says, I don't want to be altruistic, I want to be selfish and take everything for myself, and if I have to kill you to do that, I'm going to do that, why is that objectively wrong?
Because he's not taking care of other people.
Who said?
See, objectively wrong. He's trying to establish the objective right and wrong thing, which is what they like to do. And this guy's falling right into it. Okay, I mean, this guy's cannon fodder right here for, like, I would call it a weak. Followers of Abraham are very good at bringing in the weak minds. Okay. Yeah.
Where are you getting this standard to this objective standard?
Not saying that all minds within followers of Abraham are weak. Obviously not. There's a lot of very intellectual, smart people that buy into the broken theology of Abraham.
You ought to take care of people. Where does that come from if there's no God?
So
You see what's happening? What we're out here, or this
Oh yeah, I see what's happening, bro. I see it. I see it.
discussion that we're seeing, this argument's happening all over the world, though. I had somebody reach out to me recently, not totally recently. Last year, he was saying, that we don't need God. We don't need to have him be our standard of righteousness or goodness or morality in order.
Because I mean, right there. Okay, this is where they try to bring in their manipulation levers. Okay, once they get you to admit to God, then they try to enforce their perception of God on you, and of course they do it through their tool, which is their book, their holy book, the Bible. Okay, and that's what Cap's getting around to right now.
To have morality. And I said, okay, well then where does your sense of morality come from?
Because like the dude just said, everyone has God within us. What the fuck do we need the Bible for? I'm just saying, but that's what they use to control people, is their tool, their book, their Bible. That's what and the Bible is used to control people. Okay, you control people at what people think, you control what they do, and that control is always, okay, well, it has to be the man of the house. Okay, and the man of the house, the woman has to submit to the man, is what they say. Okay, then the man has to submit to the church, because it's all a hierarchy of using coercion through mass psychosis and mass Stockholm syndrome to manipulate sovereign sentient singularities into relinquishing their divine sovereignty. Okay.
And he went on to go down the route of the Constitution of the United States. And I was like, okay, well, is that the ultimate source of authority? Was that, like, where did that inspiration come from, right? Because we know, if you're an American, you know that the Constitution, men who were seeking after Christian values in the Constitution. And this is not even the point of the argument, but the point is that we go down this path of, like, where do these values, do you think it is inherently wrong to kill somebody? In fact, I would go as far to say, if you believe in Darwinian evolution, kill.
And this is so fucking funny. You Christians should really not be using murder. Should not be using murder as some soapbox. Like Christians ain't got nothing to do with murder. Christians have murdered so many fucking people. It's hilarious. Christianity itself as a religion has broke about every single one of its own commandments. that they want to impose on everyone else. Okay.
People, especially if they're weaker than you, is actually part of the whole plan. It's part of the design, right? Survival of the fittest, natural selection. The weaker mutation of a gene or whatever dies out. That's perfectly normal. In fact,
That is perfectly normal. That is murder and death. Life is built on murder and death, is what I'm getting at here. And people say murder bad. Murder is a part of life. And Christians know that. Yeah, push come to shove, they be killing motherfuckers quick. Oh no, but it's okay. It's righteous murder. It's righteous murder. Okay.
the faster it can happen, the better, so that we can continue to become a more advanced species. We know inherently that that's wrong, right? We want to take care of those who can't defend themselves. But where does that come from? I'll tell you right now.
I don't know. I wouldn't lose no sleep if I had to kill someone. I'm talking about if I had to, to defend myself, to defend my family or something. If I had to, I wouldn't lose a goddamn bit of sleep. So Christians have very slippery slopes anyway. I mean, it's inevitable with the sin worshiping. All followers of Abraham are sin worshipers, okay? And Satanists are the antithesis of the followers of Abraham, but they still base all of their beliefs around the theology of Abraham, which is inherently fractured to begin with. All right, so which is why I am not Luciferian. I am not Satanist. I don't believe in the devil. I don't believe in sin whatsoever. The whole concept of that is antithetical to the abundance of creation.
That desire comes from, as Frank said, it's written on our heart. God wrote the law on our heart, but we also...
Here we go. You can't have it both ways. It's in us. He wrote it in our heart, but we have to go through the church, but we have to go through you, but we have to go through the Bible in order to find it. But we're not supposed to listen to what's within. We're only supposed to listen to your Bible, but we have it within. Oh, okay. So you can't have it both ways, bruh. Pick one.
know inherently that every person carries in within themselves an inherent dignity and value because they were all created in God's image. Nevertheless, if we know that things are wrong, what makes them wrong? In order for them to be wrong, there must be a standard.
Yeah, every single sentient singularity is the basis for their own standard, because we are all God. We are all quantas of consciousness representing the all-consciousness, the ever-consciousness, the omni-consciousness.
Of right? Let's keep going.
So I'm just going to talk about a little example that I know of and some others. So there's 3 different points I'd like to make. First off, we still exist. If we did not take care of each other as a social species, we would have very, very limited capabilities of still existing. We need to band together. We need to take care of each other. We need to be friendly to
That's
one another.
presupposing that survival is a good thing. Why is it a good thing? And why us surviving? Why?
Okay. Survival is the name within creation. You must survive. I know he's trying to convince an atheist. I'm already convinced, but I still like to jump in here on these points, okay? Because once you do come to the realization of God, of the true creator of all, the collective cosmic consciousness, once you do come to that, then you can also stand up there and look around and see that God is everything. God is not just this one little thing, this one little, a narrow paradigm. I believe dogmas are good, and as long as it will take you to ascension, but when it becomes chains to ascension, then it's just getting in the way for me personally. I was raised pagan anyway. I was raised Wiccan, which they consider pagan. Anything besides Christianity is pagan anyway, right? So when my mom drove by churches when I was a kid, she'd be like, "Ooh, yucky church," and I still get that feeling driving by a church. I'm like, ugh. And I eventually walked in churches. I walked in them. They didn't burn or nothing. I sat right up there in the very front row, staring at the preachers, listening to their shit. When they sat there and demanded for everyone to get up for the songs, I kept sitting right the fuck down. I mean, you play something good enough that makes me want to get up, I'll get up. But see, that's the whole ritual ceremony of compliance and conformity. Stand up right now, sit down right now, sing right now, do this, listen to me right now. No, go do this right now. Okay. Fuck all that. I'm not into that preaching shit. I'm into a equal discussion of theology. But when one person is just constantly talking to you, down to you, that's not a discussion anymore. That's preaching. That's not what I'm into. And I've been dealing with that shit my whole life. And that's here right now because I got something to say about this shit.
Or black widow spiders.
Why do you need the concept of good there? We're still surviving, and we're being nice, kind to each other. We're being caring for one another.
Forgive me, Nathaniel.
See, like this guy didn't have a chance. This guy didn't have a chance.
But you're stealing.
You know, put Drew up there. Frankie. Well, why don't you do a live thing with Drew there, Frankie? That's what I want to see. You and Drew head on head. Pick on someone that's an intellectual equivalent. You know, like I love seeing these videos of picking on atheists that don't have fully formed worldviews. You know, I love that. It's hilarious.
The standard of goodness from God's universe to try and make your worldview work. But if there is no objective, authoritative moral standard beyond us, then atheism doesn't work.
I think you're right.
If the glove does not fit, you must acquit. Wookiees do not live on Endor. What was a Wookiee doing on Endor? Because there was a Wookiee on Endor, you must acquit. All right. Let's go. Oh, he's about to give in. All right. Cap's about to get happy. Let's go.
There is something to that. So you make three...
I know it happened so fast, but I wish it slowed down right there. Let's pull it back 1 second. This to me is the miracle.
Do that again. Real nice and slow, boy. You just give in. Just submit. Just capitulate. All right, I know, Cap. You're having fun. I'm having fun. Let's go.
The miracle is you have this conversation happening, and this young man, I give him all the credit in the world, because today it's hard to admit that you, and I don't even have it all figured out, so I'm not going to pretend like I do, but to have the humility to say, you know what?
Fucking Christ. All right. Not having the answer to something, admitting you don't know, is not proof that the other explanation, whatever explanation is giving, it does not prove that correct. Just because the person you're debating doesn't know an answer to something. They're like, oh, you don't know, I got an answer, mine must be right. I got an answer, you don't have one. Christians do that shit all the time. And it's okay to not know. And Christians don't know either. I'm not. Everyone knows. Everyone knows, because everyone has that divine sovereign connection inside. Everyone knows. Everyone has that. and the followers of Abraham hate that. That is the one thing, is constantly trying to divert the awareness that we are the power, that we have the power, that we are co-creators, that we are sons of God. Every single one of us.
I see where you're going with this.
Because Christians, not just Christians, all followers of Abraham, they like to be special, just like the Jewishes. They're the chosen ones. They are the special people. But what about everyone else? Whoever chooses that God is the chosen one of that God, right? And then they wonder, oh, why don't people like us? We're so special. We're the chosen ones. Why don't people like us?
So beyond the fact that what this young man, as he's saying, you know what, when you're talking about there has to be an authority that sets this moral code in place, I think I'm going to think about that further. Beyond that conclusion.
Okay, we all choose the reality that we create with your perception, okay? That's the power of our mind. We are all actively, okay, you have Earth Prime itself in its raw form, but every single sentient singularity is actually creating their own reality out of that prime Earth. Every single one of the billions of people on this planet, each and every single one is their own selves. Every person is composed of, they say billions or whatever of atoms. All these atoms and cells that are, going on their independent route, doing their own job, thinking they're their own thing, but they all work together to compile each sentient singularity, which that's part of what makes us a sentient singularity. We are a singularity in spirit and physically in matter, because they are combined. Christians love to divide God, the creator, from the creation. I hear this all the time. People don't know, people can't know. God's above and beyond people, but yet still within you. Oh, okay. Are you starting to see some of the holes in Abrahamic theology? I mean, y'all have been around for thousands of years. You should have plugged some of these holes up a little bit better by now.
What I'm super encouraged by is the discourse, the civil discourse between people who are not coming after each other's throat and trying to condescend the other person. The whole point, by the way, of apologetics is to win souls, not
to convert. I could have told you that, and I just found out about that, what apologetics even was. I don't know, a day or two ago, since I've been watching Drew over there at Genetically Modified Skeptic. Good channel. That dude is smart. He's got to be a thinker from the Myers-Briggs personality test type indicator. He's got to be a thinking type. That motherfucker's on it. He's on it.
win arguments. If your goal and my goal is to simply win arguments, and by the way, I've been in a place before where I've wanted to prove myself right, but let me tell you, there's a difference between being right and being...
Okay, I don't give a fuck about being right and other people. I care about being true to myself as much as I possibly can, which is why I'm here, which is why I am my differences in opinion in the one true God, the one true creator. Okay, because I know there's a lot of people out there, like all them atheists that I'm talking about in Florida, they believe in a higher power. They just do not like the imposition and Christians will say, oh, they just want a free pass on sin. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about, fucking sin worshipers, dude. You don't even need sin as a concept. Sin is useless as a concept. I believe in mistakes. Mistakes happen. And what is a mistake, you might ask, in my opinion? I would say anything that detracts you from being your best self and enveloping your infinite potentiality within. Anything that holds you back from that is a mistake. No sin needed. All right, Cap. Yeah, I know I'm stealing the show. All right.
Righteous. And God wants us to have a motivation of, hey, if I'm going to engage in a conversation with somebody, let my heart's motivation be a motivation of love to win souls. That's one thing I love about Frank in his ministry.
And see, that's the thing about followers of Abraham. All this, Christianity, and more specific, because I'm more familiar with them than the others. Love this, love that. Yet God has killed God has killed so many people. Not even counting the Christians on their crusades and running around trying to be, spiritually superior and whatnot, and just having to kill people righteously. Even besides that, the supposed God himself wiping out all these people and being jealous. Are you fucking retarded? God is jealous of. Okay, the creator of all things has nothing to be jealous of. He created all things. You fucktards. It's hilarious to me. It's hilarious. Okay, so if you're talking about a God that you should fear, but yet it's a God of love, okay, there is a cognitive dissonance going on there. That there's some holes going on there in your theology, and I'm poking at it. Here we go.
But I want to hear what you think in the comments. What do you think about this argument? Maybe you're an atheist. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Keep it civil, though.
Cap don't respond to me. Everyone else does. They try. They'll jump in there. It'll be a sea full of amens, and I'll come in there with original thoughts, and they'll be all like, you can't be thinking for yourself. You're the devil. And then I will address every single one of their fucking points intellectually and well spoken. I'll sit there and think about it. and address every single one of their points until they quit fucking talking to me. But yeah, no, Cap's never responded to me, but I know he's seen my messages. I know he's seen it.
Want some civility in the comments, please. But first, I love this conversation. I love this argument. To me, personally.
Hey, can you please extend that message to your followers too, not just the atheists? Because, you know, your followers can get pretty, they like to call names like, you're a demon, you're the Satan. I mean, because obviously any divergent theology or neural pathway is obviously a demon. I mean, well, why didn't I see it? Fuck.
I think it's a shoo-in answer. We cannot have a standard for good unless there is a universal standard. Like, you can't say that this is good or this is bad if it's relative, right?
No, you can. You absolutely can. You absolutely can. And see,